Hello brothers and sisters of the Imperium, I'm Chapter Master Morgan and welcome to another Let's Unbox video, or should I say Retro Let's Unbox video. Today we have the 2014 edition of Space Hulk, Man vs. Alien in Desperate Battle. So to start with, you might be asking yourself, Chapter Master Morgan or me, why are you unboxing a box set that was released in 2014. It's now 2021, 7 years ago. Well, I don't really have an answer. Bay bought this for me for Christmas 2020, and I absolutely love the sculpts inside this model. The sculpts are apparently exactly the same as the 2009 version, and I just had to have this set. To give you a little history, had the first edition of Space Hulk back in 1989 when Chapter Master Morgan was just a young neophyte, pre-implant Astartes surgery, and it was really just before around the same time as Space Crusade.
Space Crusade takes you into warp space to fight the force of chaos, deep in a parallel universe where nightmares are real. Space Crusade, the ultimate adventure game, where you must use all your skill and weaponry.
Plasma gun, dreadnought!
To battle through infested starships and win the highest rank. The ultimate encounter is here.
So, the reason I wanted this was it's just an absolutely beautiful box. And today, the purpose of the video is to just unbox it, but mainly look at the sculpts inside. Bay was lucky enough to get this for me from one of the buy and sell groups on Facebook. A chap just wanted it played with, and it is in virtually mint condition. The only difference with it is the models inside have been assembled, and that's going to be the main focus of today's video, to look at the models in a little bit more detail and the sculpts. And also we'll have a look at the box in general. I'll give you my feedback on it. To date, I've actually played just 1 or 2 games of this so far. One even against myself, Mission 2, which was actually rather exciting. Although, you know, we're in the middle of lockdown, so if you're wondering why I'm playing with myself and Space Hulk, that's it. So let's dive in, shall we, and look at what's inside the box, or outside the box. So the box itself, as you can see, is a really beautiful, it's really, really heavy. When the chap gave this to me at the station, I actually picked it up in a suitcase. We were both wearing parkas, and he slid it across to me in a briefcase so nobody could see what we were exchanging for cash. First of all, it is a really nice, big, heavy box, and it's very glossy. It's got really nice illustrations all the way around the outside of all the Terminators. It feels just like a really high quality object when you get it. Really special, and you can see all of the Genestealer sculpts there as well. So, and we'll get to this guy in a minute. Yeah, you know who he is, people in the know. So, in terms of history, Space Hulk, as I mentioned earlier, there's 4 editions. This is the 4th, 2014, the most recent. There was 3 previous editions, so 1989, the one that I had with the DLC packs, 1996, which was a simplified version, and also a 2009 version, and this is just an upgraded, very similar model of the 2009 version with a few tweaks. In it, we have, let me move that out of the way, a rule book. So if you're buying this secondhand, then you will expect to have in it your Space Hulk rule book and your Space Hulk mission book. In here, obviously, it has all the rules. Blah, 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 what they do, the models, etc., etc. I'm not going to go through that. There's plenty other unboxing videos where you can see inside that. And a reference, nice simple reference sheet at the back. Well done, Games Workshop. You are improving on your standard operating procedures for instruction so noobs can play it. And the second, the mission book. And in here you've got all the different missions with all the different maps that you can go through and have a look at. There. So that's it in simple terms. Again, quality paper. I did actually think that It could have been done in hardback, and it is a little bit flimsy. I think it probably could have been done in hardback with both of these together. That would have been a nicer object to receive. Inside here, you can see I have mechanized my autism by putting everything in baggies. I didn't get like this. It was all just lumped in a box. And I have actually separated everything out. I've separated my Space Marines into a little baggie, my Genestealers into a baggie. You get this thing, which is your Space Marine terminals. Across the top, you actually get command points. You roll. You actually pick them out of a pot each time you go, but I prefer to roll. One thing I will say in playing this, I don't know if you guys agree, there's not enough dice rolling in it. I guess it's because it's made for, you know, people that aren't that into Space Hulk. It is a board game after all. Carry off, you chain your auto cannon rounds and also your turn rounds there as well. So this is quite cool. I played with this. At first I thought this is a bit weird, but you get tokens that go on top of that. Inside, now these aren't, you get a load of tokens, you get flamer tokens, you get tokens. The one thing I will say, Games Workshop, if you do release a new version, by the way, the board pieces are absolutely really good quality, really thick. These are great. But Games Workshop, if you're going to go to the effort of making a really nice box, really nice board pieces, and absolutely some of the most beautiful sculpts that Games Workshop's ever made, then couldn't you not, in terms of product design, make it so that all of these pieces, I've separated them into bags of each type of piece, because otherwise it's a nightmare trying to assemble a board. Why couldn't you have done something like this? I'm going to show you this, right? This is what a board game should look like, Games Workshop. This is Trivial Pursuit, right? Trivial Pursuit. Okay, I'm pouring all of the cards everywhere. Ignore that, but you're going to get the point. Everything has its place and everything's neatly slotted in. Would it really have been that much effort to have made made a vacuum placked, doesn't even need to be good quality, but a plastic case where you can slot everything in and all the different pieces like slot in like Lego? Like that would have been, if you do another edition, Games Workshop, please do that for Chapter Master Morgan, because I think that would be really, really good. Okie dokie, let's get all that junk out of the way and get into the good stuff now. We are going to do the models. So this is the Genestealers section of the models you get with Space Hulk. And as you can see, you get a lot. In fact, 22 Genestealer molds in total. And they're absolutely stunning. You do get a few duplicates. And I'll go through some of the examples you've got in here. To start off with, you've got the original kind of Genestealers you would have got back in first edition. That's these ones here. The ones with their kind of running with their arms out. And as you can see, they've put them on these, rather than having actual bases they slot into these kind of skateboards. I'll get to that in a minute and my hang up on those. But they have gone to a lot of effort to, even on these little bases, put in some details. As you can see there, little pipes, some skulls. So even and they're push fit, by the way, so they're usually maybe 2 or 3 pieces maximum, just slotted together. The underside arms just slot up into it there. So they're very, very easy to put together. They're not fiddly at all. And I didn't manage to break any. So that is that particular type. And as I mentioned there, I think there's about 5 different variants. You got this guy here as well, where he's climbing down, and again, look at the detail in there with the skulls, and it really is a lot of effort that's gone into these. They could have just done them all the same, you know, but they put a lot of work into making them differently there. So you get 22 Genestealers, and these are all just Genestealers, by the way. But the great thing is, and one of the reasons that I did ask Bay for it, actually, I was fishing. She was like, so what do you want for Christmas? And I'm just like, I feel really guilty, but I really like Space Hulk, because basically you get 2 effective armies in here. You get the Genestealer army, and then you also get a big Terminator army of Blood Angels, and you actually get 12 Space Marine models. And Bay, I will say, she managed to get the whole box set for £100, which is in today's Games Workshop standards, where they release a Conquest sprue which cost $7.99 2 years ago for £50, is extremely good value for money. You can see here how awesome that is with the Space Marine, Space Terminator helmet there. It's just, and you get 2 of those. So there are duplicates. They're not all unique, but there are about 7 of the standard Genestealers, and then the others, the duplicates, could just come in pairs. So there's enough variation there to have different kind of types. And they have these really unusual models as well, of like creeping up through the floor. You get 2 of these as well. See, that's really cool. And then you get these kind of bigger ones, as I showed you earlier there. Another one on this kind of girder or wiring. I can't wait to paint these. Yes, I will be painting them. I will be painting my Genestealers. And this one here. Again, look at the detail that's on the little Space Hulk areas. Oh, they're just amazing. Look at the way he's hunched over like that. And then last but not least is the Broodlord himself. Here he is, Big Daddy Broodlord, standing with a skull in one of his 4 hands on a pile of skulls, no doubt. Look at that. Absolutely. Oh, look, a pile of skulls with Terminator helmets in there. Because they're not painted, it's difficult to see the contrast. You can almost see clasped the little skull in there as well. They're just absolutely terrifying, aren't they? And to think, these amazing sculpts. So I can now play these in Kill Team if I want. I'm just starting to learn Kill Team. It means I've got a Genestealer army, or the makings of a Genestealer army. And it means that I can... it's basically a start Lex collecting kit. So I will be basing these up, and I'm going to talk more about the basing when I come onto, which is where we're going now, the Space Marine models. So here we have the Space Marine part, or should I say the Blood Angels Terminators part of Space Hulk, and there are, as I mentioned earlier, 12 models in total, and each one of them is absolutely unique. So I'm going to quickly go through each one and show you them as we have a look now. So what I'll do is I'll just very quickly go through, and the first thing that my friends asked me when we came into this was actually, are you going to paint them as the Jade Fists? My Jade Fists are my Ultramarine successor chapter in bright green. You may have seen them on my other videos. No, I am going to paint them in the true style, faithful to Space Hulk, as best I can, as they are on the box, as Blood Angels. So in total, like I said, you get 12 Space Marine models. Each one's unique, and you get 2 Sergeants and a Librarian. The Librarian itself is very iconic. So you get a number of them with... I know a lot of people love this one, this guy kneeling down. It took me a while to work out what he's doing. I assume he's pulling something up from the floor. There we go. Beautiful. You get this fantastic guy with two dual lightning claws. Check that out. As I said earlier, like, it's going to be I'm absolutely itching to paint these. I've got a bit of a backlog of painting, but I think I might just push these guys to the front of the queue and start painting these guys instead. As you can see here, this guy's quite iconic as well, because he's looking at, I believe he's looking at a display screen in his power fist that slid up. Some of these I actually haven't glued in yet. They've just been push fit. Beautiful. Holding up the Genestealer head, pulled it out of its own body. Lots of little dangly bits on there as well. Beautiful. And as I was saying earlier, I'm actually really looking forward to playing more Space Hulk. I enjoyed the first 2 games, where in mission 2, it's just the one where you have one squad and you have to flame the room. I actually remember playing it on a Space Hulk mobile app a few years ago. And I really did think that the Genestealers had it. And in the end, the flamer let rip, torched an entire... You got this guy with the assault cannon here. Look at that. And he torched the entire hallway and then rolled 6 on a command points, had 6 extra moves and legged it into the room and flamed the room and won. That was me playing myself as well. I was like genuinely excited. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. The only thing I will say about playing, as I said earlier, is that you can, there's just not enough dice rolling. I'm actually thinking whether it's possible to use 40k rules and apply them to combat with Space Hulk, but that's for another video. So, as I was saying earlier, the problem I have with these miniatures is the basing. What do I mean by that? They come on these weird skateboards, and I was just like, for goodness sake, and they're really, like, you can't detach them. The bases are glued or part of the mold, and you can't detach them. And I remember back in first edition, they actually came on bases. I might be mistaken. I believe they might have come on 25s, 25mm bases. And they look like, whoa, cowabunga, dude. Like, but it's not only the look. They actually fall over really easily on the board. And I was like, why have they done this? Why have they not put them on at least square bases like 40mm? And I've worked it out. It's because of the size of the squares. They are around 30mm distance, and on anything bigger than a 35 and a 30mm base, 40s, they're not going to fit. And I've now understood why they did it. And I understand why they didn't put them on square bases, because square bases would be too small for the model and they wouldn't be able to do the sculpts. So the only way they would have been able to resolve it is by making the board pieces bigger, which would have made the game bigger, which may have ruined the size of the game. That's my only logical conclusion. But I am going to be basing these guys on 40mm bases. Let me just show you what they look like when they're on 40mm bases. I'm going to put some of my other Jade Fist Terminators on, and they're all on 40mm bases. As you can see here, let me just bring this up. Oh, God, they're heavy. As you can see here, they're just too big for the board. They just go off the end. But I'm going to put them on 40mm bases also. And in terms of kit bashing, what bases should you put them on? What go really well? It took me absolutely ages to find them. But I found these bases. If you Google, I shouldn't actually because I want to get some more. All right, I'll tell you. Mechanicus bases on eBay. You can find these, and I got these 10 on there. Look how great they are. They look like the kind of Manufactorum Space Hulk bases. By the way, this didn't come with Space Hulk. These are the ones. This is kind of what I was expecting to see in Space Hulk. Bases like this. And I think Games Workshop, again, if you're listening, put them on bases like these. And even if they're square, that's fine. But just make the bases square. So yeah, I'm going to be using these bases when I bought these specially, 10 of them for the Space Marines. I'll probably need to get a couple more because obviously there's 12 of them. Next miniature. Let's have a look here. You get the heavy flamer guy. I'll rattle through now. Look at that. Now these look a lot like the Space Marine heroes. It's going to be so difficult cutting them off. If anyone in the chat can tell me how you think you can cut these off this base without damaging the feet, I know you'll just need a really sharp knife. I'll work it out, but I'm not looking forward to that. Heavy flamer guy, nice. The 2 sergeants, sergeant with Thunderhammer. Check that bad boy out. Yeah. Sergeant with Thunderhammer. Sergeant with Power Sword. Xeno scum. And the traitorous librarian. Again, like look at this base here, right? That is supposed to be like that. That's not bent. It's just a little bit of detail. This is the kind of base, like Games Workshop. Why not put them all on these nice square bases? Again, like I mentioned earlier, they're about 30 to 40 millimeters wide, and you can see there, you can see it's thinner this way than it is that way, because width-wise, 40 millimeters is fine, but they're 30 millimeters like that. So they would have to, I would have to, if I wanted it to them not look too big on the board, I'd have to find bases or cut bases to that side, which I'm not going to do because I want to use these guys outside of Space Hulk as well. And that is the Terminator side of that. Absolutely stunning. Let me know what you think down in chat as well. I have seen these in Space Marine Heroes as well. Heroes, if you're not familiar, were limited edition. I think they're still selling them actually. Series 2, where they do, you buy a box, a single model box, and you get a surprise Terminator inside, and some of them are extremely rare and go for a lot on eBay. But they remind me of that. You basically get 12 Space Marine heroes. Admittedly, they're on these dodgy cowabunga skateboards and require kit bashing to look good. But that is just amazing value for money. And I really am excited to see if Space Hulk do another, Games Workshop do another Space Hulk. Not sure they will, to be honest, but here's hoping, eh? Now we're going to move on to objectives, objective marker sculpture, and my favorite model of all time. And here we have one of my favorite models of all time, which is the Dead Terminator. Now, when Bay got me this Space Hulk box, I thought there's no way this really nice chap who's already done me a great deal on an amazing box is going to include this Terminator. And when she said I got it, I was like, fantastic, just make sure all the pieces are in there. And I know this guy has gone for up to £50 on eBay, just him alone. And I am looking so forward to painting him. And he is just an objective marker in the game. And if you just look at the detail, let me bring him a bit closer here. If you just Google Dead Terminator, you'll be able to see some great paint jobs for this guy. But I haven't seen anything like him anywhere. Tell me down in chat if you've seen any other Dead Terminator objective markers anywhere. Here we go. Again, he's not stuck yet. I haven't done any of that. It's absolutely beautiful. Poetic, almost. Can we just have F's in chat for the Dead Terminator? And I haven't played the mission yet with him, but I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's one of the objective markers that you get in there. And the fact that they went to so much trouble to make an objective marker like that just shows how much love went into the sculpts in this again. The only other one that you get two other little objectives, little baby ones. You get the kitten. He's not really called a kitten, he's called a cat. I'll put the cat next to the Dead Terminator like that. It's been keeping him company for 500 years at the bottom of a massive Space Hulk. So yeah, the cat is obviously a little robot that detects things. It's the servitor attached to a track. And you do get some kind of... This is the only thing that's been left on sprue when I got it. This little cup or whatever it is. Again, I haven't had the need for it yet, and I know I'll lose it if I take it off the sprue, so I've left that on there. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. How do I rate it? Quick summary from Chapter Master Morgan. I think it is tremendous value for money, and will I be selling it? Absolutely not. Will I be scalping all the pieces and selling them off bit by bit? I will not. Will I be keeping it for as long as possible? Yes. Why? Because I really regret having sold my original 1989 Chapter Master Morgan is as ancient as this Dead Terminator. Do the maths. 80s boy, grew up in the 90s. I sold my 1989 version and I wish I'd kept it. And I had all the upgrades and everything for it as well. But I'm definitely going to be keeping this. And you'll have to tear it out of my dead Terminator hands on my deathbed to get rid of it. It's going to stay. So, yep. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this was insightful. If you want to find out any other things about what's in it, I'm not going to go through all the objective markers and all that other stuff. You get hundreds of great little markers and board pieces. And yeah, comments down below. If you found this useful, do sub, do like the video. And yeah, happy wargaming, everyone. This has been Chapter Master Morgan. This has been Space Hulk. You take care and praise the Emperor.